Something that we want in our modern culture is authenticity. We're looking for something that is tangible and real that we can really latch onto. And so much of the musical experience we have today is piped in. I can easily listen to any piece I want by going on my smartphone, and that's a great thing. But if we put ourselves in the mindset of somebody living in 18th century Pennsylvania, those people, if they wanted to listen to music, they would either have to listen to somebody else make that music, or they'd have to make it themselves.
Great.
Yeah, bravo. You went down to the third line by accident?
Yeah, but we went back and fixed
You
it.
fixed it.
Yeah.
You fixed it. The second person. I came to Ephrata because I was getting drinks with a friend one night in Brooklyn. He's a composer, and he wanted to write a new piece for my group, New York Polyphony. And he had been reading this book called Dr. Faustus by Thomas Mann. And in it, he has this description of Conrad Beissel, who was the founder of Ephrata. And I start researching, and I start to learn more about Ephrata. And I go to the Library of Congress webpage, and I see this really grainy image of a music manuscript that comes from Ephrata. And I realized, oh my goodness, that's choral music. It's 4-part a cappella music. It's all hymnody. It's homophonic, which means that people are singing the same words at the same time. The thing that's unique about a lot of this music is that it's all original to Ephrata. The men and women who lived here composed the music. I visited at least 20 libraries and collections throughout the United States and the United Kingdom. And I looked at 122 manuscripts, all of which came from this site. But the thing that was uniting them was this lack of clarity in terms of rhythm. And so one of the big things that I had to do over the course of my research was basically decode their system so that when I'm putting things into modern notation so that singers can perform these works, they'll get it. So we're about to make this recording, and it's recording of Ephrata music that I transcribed, and it's the first time since the 1700s that this music has been sung. And we're doing it here at the original site of the Ephrata Cloister, the building for which the music was written. I've done a lot of singing behind the microphone, but I've actually never produced an album before. So this is my first time as a producer making it happen. I've brought 4 of my colleagues from New York City who I've sung with for years. I knew they would be able to immediately get the idea of the music and sing beautifully, and they're doing it. It's great. It's just exciting to be able to do it in the room that was originally intended for the music. We are going to have a small performance of some of the music. When I was in the Library of Congress looking at this one particular volume, which is today known as the Ephrata Codex, I was going through the pages and I noticed these little inscriptions, and there were certain names attached to certain hymns. And I realized that there are 3 women's names among those. These are the 3 first known female composers in what is today the United States of America. Because Ephrata was a celibate community, it meant that no children were being raised here. And the experience of most women in colonial America was family raising, child rearing, tending to a house. And here you had women who didn't have those responsibilities. They were able to work. And that gave them the ability to have more creative expression than a lot of their peers would in the rest of the colonies. It was an interesting thing to realize that these names have been sitting there in plain sight for centuries, and I was the first person to realize that. It just shows that there are probably other opportunities to look at history again and see who else has been left out that we haven't given credit to. I would also love for musicians to get a sense of what colonial American music sounds like. We have an idea that colonial music sounds like one thing, shape note singing. And this is not that. This is very different, and I think this deserves to be explored more by other musicians. So I'm hoping this project will encourage more people to explore the music of Ephrata, sing the music of Ephrata, and visit the Ephrata Cloister.